What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button. And guys, do me a favor. If you're watching this video, comment below and let me know if you enjoy this series, if you are enjoying seeing all these chopped knives. Personally, I really like checking out the differences between the knives and seeing what's being done to them to improve them or to make them legal in certain states. If you guys are enjoying these videos, I will keep getting more of these knives, as many as I can, and making more videos. And if you guys like them, I'll keep doing them. If not, then, you know, I don't know if I'll keep doing these or not, but I certainly enjoy checking them out. So maybe I'll just keep doing them anyway. So, all right. You guys should all know this knife, right? This is the Wiha Mini Buster. This is a fantastic knife. It's primarily a flipper only, but if you're good at reverse flicking, you can reverse flick this blade pretty easily because the action's so good without a fuller on there. So it's actually quite easy to do on this knife. One of the easiest I've ever done it on. Takes very low effort, and now that I'm trying to show you how to do it, I can't do it. I give it a little bit of wrist and a little bit of finger, and it just flies out there. But you guys know how I feel about flipper tabs. I don't like flipper tabs, especially on a Wharncliffe blade, because they're just all in the way. You can't do anything with it, you know, other than use the tip. You can't even get, unless you're doing push cuts or something. But if you're any kind of chopping task or anything like that, the flipper is just all in your way. Ideally, you know, I would want the handle of the knife slightly above the edge of the blade. That way I can get the entire blade down and chop with it, you know, especially a Wharncliffe blade. This is a great knife, though. I love this knife. I really do. I think it's a wonderful one. This one will be in the upcoming knife sale. Well, I don't know when you're watching this video, what the date will be. This may be sold by then, but this is going to be available for sale. So this is a Snex design. Well, I got another chop knife from David at Blade Chops. We're going to call this a Blade Chops design, kind of. A Blade Chops Snex collaboration. Just Snex didn't know he collaborated, kind of thing. And David knocked it out of the park on this one. All the ones that I've done so far, this is my favorite. This is my favorite chop to date, without a doubt. Absolutely love this knife. I really like this knife. And one thing I said about this knife, I believe in my original review, was, man, I wish I had thumb studs, right? Well, bam. We have thumb studs. And we got a flipper delete, guys. Flipper's been deleted. We get excellent thumb studs. Oh man, this looks so good. I love this knife so much. This is so good. Took a little bit back off the blade, as you guys can see. Rounded it out a little more. Drops down a little slower to the tip instead of, you know, almost straight down with this one. Flipper is gone, so those chopping tasks I was just talking about, get the whole blade. The entire cutting edge will touch right now. It's hard for me to show you that because if I lean it to the side, the scale blocks it. But, you know, the entire, let's see here. What can I put up here? Here, we'll use this. So the entire edge now, when I go to chop, if I were to go to chop, I'm making contact with the entire edge of the blade. Love that. Love that. You know, I think that's awesome. Reminds me similar, although a much more premium version of a Penguin. You know, it gives me Penguin vibes, but it's got the ergos feel better to me. Obviously, it's much more premium materials. Blade steel is 20. I believe these are 20 CV if I remember correctly. Don't believe they marked the blade, but if I remember correctly, these are 20 CV blades. Don't hold me to that, though. It's been a while since I reviewed this knife, so yeah, taking a little bit off the blade and then a little bit came off the butt too. We're going to take some measurements and weigh these and see what all the changes have taken place. This one hasn't had too much taken off in the length department, though. I like this knife exactly the way he did it. By doing the end too, the lanyard hole is gone now, which I really, really like. That's amazing. I don't really like lanyard holes. I'm never going to put a lanyard on a knife. So, yeah, I'd rather just not be there. And wow, look, the finish work on this is amazing. Let's take some measurements and then I'll get you some up close shots of it. All right, the original length of the Mini Buster is just under 8 inches, right at 8 inches. And the length of the chopped variation is 7 3/8 of an inch. The original blade length is 3.5 inches. That's to here on the scale, so it's slightly more than that technically, but I'm just gonna call it 3.5. And to the same spot on this blade, we are at 3 1/8. So he didn't go into 3 inches with this one, so wasn't going for like a legal thing, I don't think. I think he was just making it a better knife. And in my opinion, he has succeeded. Let's weigh them and see how much weight we lost with the chop. Because it's not a heavy knife at all originally, but you know, lighter is better in my opinion, most of the time. All right, the original weight, 4.1. Do that one more time. 4.0, in between 4.0 and 4.1. It wants to roll over to 4.1, so. And the chopped weight, we lost a 1/2 ounce. He took a 1/2 ounce of weight off. So we're down to 3.6 ounces in a 3 1/8 inch long blade, titanium frame lock. That's great. That's great because you lose the weight of the flipper, and then you're losing a lot of that weight because of the lanyard hole. It's all titanium in here. And I love the way he finished off the butt of this knife. Hopefully that's showing up good for you guys on camera. Nice and polished down. Also, feels like he slightly crowned these too. No? No. Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. The backspacer on the original Mini Buster sticks up. You know, it's proud right above the scales here. Sticks up a good 1/16 of an inch. And comes out to the lanyard hole. And on this one, it's not quite flush. It's barely sticking up, but it's much, much smoother. Because when you really grip this knife, you feel that. It's not a hot spot, but you do feel that little raised edge right there. Yeah, this thing feels, oh, this knife is so good. This is such a good knife. Let's look at the inside here, so you can see exactly where the chop took place. Wow. So he even cut out a little more in here. It looks like. You see what I'm seeing there? So if I line these up at the original spots, these had these little. So he skinnied up the scales, is what he did. He skinnied up the bottom here also. Yeah, he did. Instead of it coming out to be, you know, getting wider here at the butt of the knife, he's just rounded it off. It makes it feel so good in hand. It feels fantastic in hand. And with the thumb studs there, they're just in the perfect place for your thumb to land there. And then for the deployment, the thumb studs are perfect. Perfect. This is a much better knife than that knife. There's no doubt about it. Did he change the pocket? Oh, yep. This is another spot you feel. You feel this little spot right here on the pocket clip. It's kind of a sharp point, but again, it's not terribly bad when you're gripping, but it's there. You feel it. You notice it. Now, yeah, it's gone. Pocket clips vanish. It vanishes. That tip, let's close these up so I don't cut myself. If you look at these pocket clips, see how he's rounded it out here? This one's more of a sharp edge. He's even knocked down the edges of the pocket clips. These sharp, they're not like hurt you sharp, but they're very sharp. He's softened up the edges of everything on this knife. I think he even rounded the top of the scale off, because this is more flat right here. He's rounded the edges of the scales off too down here. Yeah. Too bad that he can't do that with this knife. Or you could have it done, but you'd have to send it off and have it coated. Because I think I'd buy this knife and send it to him and have him do it. Man, it's just so impressive. This is a different version of the Mini Buster, I think, or earlier version. Because if you look, the pivot screws are different. or they just used a different pivot screw on this antique bronze version, probably is what it is. I'm trying to see, there's so many things on this knife that are done to it. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything and overlooking anything. This all feels about the same. But yeah, this has definitely been skinnied out right here quite a bit. What he didn't cut out more here. See how these come in right here? He didn't cut out more. He sanded down past where these are kind of coming in at an angle there. Tip of the blade right there. See where it's at on the Mini Buster? Or on the original Mini Buster? Tip of the blade now. Slightly further back. So this one's really close to the butt of the knife. I can't touch it, but it's really close. It's back a little bit further now, which I like. You don't have to worry about it getting caught on anything in your pocket. Of course, with the shape of this knife, you probably wouldn't have to worry about that anyway. But with the shape of this knife, if it was all the way out there to the tip, you may have to worry about it. Plus, it's opened up a little more right there. So bringing the blade back a little further is probably for the best, I'm sure. Man, it's just such a good job. Such a good job. Yeah, and I absolutely love the action on this knife. I like the action on this knife, but having it with thumb studs and being able to reverse flick it so easily and thumb flick it, you can't thumb flick this. You can use the flipper and you can reverse flick it if you're really good at reverse flicking. But with this, anybody can do it, man. And it is fantastic. Detent's still fantastic. None of that changes. The lock bar. Did anything change on the lock bar? No, I don't think anything changed. No, nothing changed on the lock bar. Yeah, this is amazing. This is awesome. If I have one chopped, this would probably be the first knife I'd have chopped, just because it's such a good knife. Such a good knife. All right. Also, I should have said at the beginning of the video, I always do. I forgot, this knife is Blade Chop's knife. This is David's knife itself. I'll link his Instagram in the description. This knife is Craig's knife. It is in the knife sale. I'll link Craig's Instagram in the description. And like I said at the beginning, I don't know if this knife is still available when you're watching this video. It may have sold already. Did I just find something else? Yes, I did. Look right here. Look right there. Hold on. That's changed too. You've rounded that out. It looks like, yeah, this edges are rounded out. Everything's just so soft now. No sharp edges. I know Snex goes for that look. He wants that look. So, you know, he's going for a different look. This is more practical with how soft everything is now. Yeah, and how the flipper tab is no longer in your way and you get the entire edge down the chop. So pretty amazing. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Like I said at the beginning, comment below if you're enjoying these videos. And if you are, I will continue to reach out to people, see if I can get some more of these knives and make some more of these videos. This one's got me pretty excited, I got to admit. I really like this knife a whole lot. This one's, yeah, this is my favorite by far of all the chopped. Even above the Smock, above all of them. Yeah, this is my favorite for sure. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.